pretty good.
Talking about the one I had? It was better.
That's what I'm saying. Yes, that one, dude. Me and Terrell have like 6 rap, or like literally Terrell freestyling, playing this, and me beating on the fucking wall making drums while he's freestyling some dope ass shit. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. We're cruising high right now. Sit back, pour you a shot, roll up. And expand your mind with us.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I'm not the only one riding on this ship. I got the dick and the asshole in between. Yes, easy. He goes by the name of the Gooch. So take that shot, hit that blunt, and agree to disagree with us, please.
Yo, yo, yo.
Hello, hello, gods and goddesses.
All the people in between. This is your captain. Thank you for joining us on this journey.
This is Terrell, a.k.a. the Gooch. Welcome in, welcome in. Thank you to all the people that listen, subscribe. You know, this is something that me and him wanted to do for a while. So I'm just thank you. Appreciate everything. And we're just going to keep coming with more substance, keep coming with more thoughts. You know, you may agree, you may disagree, but that's the whole thing, just having thought process going on, just being able to have, you know, one of those situations where you're at a party and you're sitting there, you're smoking a cigarette, you're like, fuck it, dude, I'm about to go smoke. And then the one drunkest dude at the party comes up to you like, oh, shit, here he comes. Asks you for a cigarette, asks you for a lighter, and then he starts talking about everything, the whole world. And then you sit there for like
me?
30 minutes.
Are you describing me right now?
I might be describing you.
What we're doing?
I describing you.
Steal your cigarette, and then while I smoke your cigarette, explain a whole 20-minute long story.
And meanwhile, you got somebody waiting on you at the beer pong table because you just out there smoking real quick, but you actually took like 30 minutes, so that dude easily ditched you. But this is something that we wanted to do for a while. So I'm just glad that you guys are listening, and
yeah, we appreciate y'all.
Appreciate everything.
Help us get us going with this show. Actually, on that note, like always, first shot goes out to the listeners, goes out to the fans.
We're smoking one of Zach's Peasy blunts. And for people that don't know what that means, a Peasy blunt is from an old person that used to live in my neighborhood, and he used to roll the skinniest goddamn blunts.
Littlest ass pinner blunts.
Littlest pinner blunts, and these motherfuckers try to be scientists about it, man. But you gotta
blunt
roll
rolling
big
is
blunts,
an art,
dude.
sir. Not that it's
Man,
small.
it ain't no art.
It gets
Anybody
the job
can
done.
goddamn do that.
It gets the job done. It's not how big it is, it's how well you smoke it.
I guess.
Alright, so it's Thursday, the 25th of
The
January.
Allstar roster just came out. It's official.
Oh, and I'm mad.
We actually
I shouldn't even be mad, because my man left us anyways. And now I'm mad for him, because they didn't even put PG up there.
All Indy fans are happy, I know that. Because our boy Oladipo made it for his first All-Star game, putting in work. Indy, I think, is what, 6th or 5th?
Clutch.
We actually have to look up the roster. Actually. Do that for me, please.
Clutch.
But
Alright.
if you haven't heard already, Paul George got snubbed from the All-Star, but it's all right. I mean, playing with Westbrook, and I think Melo got snubbed too.
Drummond got a pretty big snub.
He's probably the biggest snub.
He's
because
the best, one of the best big
motherfucker out here
mans in the
getting
fucking
20 boards
league
and
right
they
now.
do not give a fuck. Still the Pistons, that's probably motherfuckers, and he's probably salty as shit. But they had, if you didn't know, the All-Star setup is now is like a street ball setup where it's Team LeBron versus Team Steph. He already got it up. Cap just got it up right now.
All right, so Team LeBron, he's got DeMarcus Cousins at center, Anthony Davis, Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving. Of course, you got Kyrie. So you got Durant, Kyrie, and LeBron on the same team. That'd be pretty nice.
Now tell this shitball lineup on the right.
Versus Steph has got Giannis. He's got DeMar DeRozan.
DeMar the fucking DeRozan. I swear to God, DeMar DeRozan. I mean, the ugliest motherfuckers ever. I'm sorry. I know you can't hate on the man, but Jesus Christ, looks like fucking Eddie Murphy on Norbit. DeMar DeRozan. I hate when people talk about the Raptors. The Raptors are trash, bro. The Raptors, I don't give a fuck if they're first, second, third. I don't give a damn. They're trash, man. No one gives a fuck about Toronto, man. No one gives a fuck about DeMar DeRozan.
If they can make it through a series, then they'd be okay. But
Oladipo should have started over him.
Yeah, I agree.
Joel Embiid, James Harden. Okay.
Joel Embiid, he put in time.
Now go to the reserves.
All right. Of course, Draymond Green's with fucking Curry. Jimmy Butler, Al Horford,
Kyle Lowry. Look, another bullshit Toronto, man. Toronto is not tight, man.
I don't know, man.
Westbrook. I don't know why.
And then the bench for LeBron's team is Aldridge, Bradley Beal, Kevin Love, Victor Oladipo.
Yep.
Chris Schnapps, the Unicorn, John Wall, which they don't even like each other, so that'd be funny. I hope they get in a fight.
Westbrook.
And then, of course, Russell.
Westbrook. If you had to pick out of Westbrook, John Wall.
All right, so if we're being for real about it, look.
And
I'm not going to say DeMar DeRozan doesn't belong on that. DeRozan scores a lot. He's a high-efficiency offensive player.
Man, but it's not somebody who's going to take... Okay, he can get his 50-point games and stuff like that, but it's still inconsistent.
Let's see. Kevin Love doesn't play shit for defense. He's up here because Cleveland needed to.
Dog. He's trying, dog.
He doesn't deserve to be on the Allstar list this year.
Okay. Who's your top... If you had to pick a top point guard, if you're doing your top five, if you had to pick...
Are we doing my top five right now? Everyone?
Your top point guard right now. My top point guard that I'm picking is Kyrie.
Kyrie?
I'm picking him over Steph. I'm picking him over John Wall. I'm picking him over Damian Lillard.
John Wall. John Wall can't hit a clutch shot. So.
He can't hit a clutch shot. I'm going...
Same way I love PG, but our boy PG can't hit a clutch shot either. And Oladipo, maybe that's why he's on this list, is because he's already made a couple big threes late in the stretch. Like, and still...
If you've seen Oladipo in Orlando, he wasn't doing shit.
No.
I'm doing shit in Orlando.
No, he wasn't.
He's doing all
back
right,
in
bro.
Indy, and they're having a breakout year. They were supposed to be nothing. Our team was supposed to be garbage after the PG trade. We had no stars. We got Sabonis and Oladipo for PG, which everyone told me how bad it was. Oh, what a crappy trade. Well, Oladipo and Sabonis both look fucking fantastic right now. OKC's okay. They're not doing that bad.
It's only a crappy trade because they're winning now. But originally wasn't like something crazy.
I was never that unhappy with it. I like Oladipo here. He did good for the Hoosiers. He played well. He likes Indiana basketball.
We still need more. Because if you look at Miles Turner, I mean, he hasn't been really, to be honest,
he's got to be able to stay on the field. Yeah, he's got to learn how to be a better rim protector.
Blocking, but I mean,
oh yeah, he's. I think blocks per game. He's got like almost 3.5.
Ain't nobody calling Ben Wallace one of the best.
He's a great shooter too. He just. I don't know. When it comes down to it in big games, he lets himself get bullied too many times by LeBron.
True.
Like you can't let, if you're Miles Turner, you can't let LeBron be getting fourth quarter boards on you in game 5, game 6, game 7.
I mean, I like what we got, but I think we don't need like a star player. But I think we need like another middle range. Nice little shooter. I mean, we should gun for Lou Will. But
that would be a good
we'll give up. I think we should give up a couple of draft picks because if we're gonna make it to the playoffs, we're really not gonna need.
I would like that addition.
That much we can give up about a couple second rounds, maybe a next year pick for Lou Will, someone that's maybe someone hot off the bench.
I would totally be okay with that.
I
know Larry Bird's not the guy anymore. I don't know who is the president now. But whoever it is, if he's listening, can you go grab Lou Williams for us? Because we could use another good defender to perimeter.
We need a Jamal Crawford or somebody like that can come off the bench and just streak out. Yeah. Stroke out. And Indy from
Lance
blue
is
collar
doing good
place.
though. I like Lance. He's still playing pretty well. He's just too emotional, man.
He don't do that much, man. He don't do that much. He cool. He'd get them crazy layups and then stick his tongue out, do some crazy shit. Fuck with LeBron,
They got into a fight last game. Did you see that?
Yeah, they got into it. LeBron, man.
He hates him so much. I really do want LeBron to lose to Lance, but
I'm not worried about the Cavs losing. LeBron just going through a bad regular season, man. It's playoff LeBron so much different than regular season.
He's got to carry so much of his squad. Like, it's weird to say that Cleveland's not a good team, but they're just not a good team right now.
Dwayne Wade always bugging on what he doing after the game, probably. Dwayne Wade's just riding high with him, but
probably coming out to Miami.
Yeah, I'm still fucking. I'll pick my homeboy up like that, but I mean, he'll get it together during the playoffs. So who do you think is actually going to win out of the two?
And you talking about the All-Star game? You talking about
the All-Star game? Yeah.
Shit, I think LeBron's got the better team.
I think it's LeBron and KD just going to run shit.
Yeah,
run shit all day. I mean,
DeMarcus Cousins is playing so good as a big man right now. Like, I know it's the All-Star game, defense doesn't matter, but Boogie Cousins is a fucking beast of a big man, and I think they have it because they have the size. Obviously, Joel Embiid's a pretty big guy, but other than Joel and Giannis as your starters for Steph's team, you got LeBron and Anthony Davis and Cousins.
Who do you think is going to get the MVP
and Kevin Durant?
of that game,
Kevin Durant's damn near
out of all them players, who do you think is going to snap the most? I'm going Anthony
I'm saying
Davis.
Kyrie. I think Kyrie's going to put on a show.
Either Kyrie or Anthony Davis. You know, Anthony Davis always chomps on the All-Star game like it's nothing. So I think Anthony Davis is going to eat.
The brow's going to get it.
Anthony
we
Davis
do have the brow versus the beard. I didn't even think about that.
And I think, where's it at?
That's funny as fuck.
Where's the All-Star game at? Is it in Charlotte or?
I love James Harden, but I want to see the brow dunk on the beard.
I actually don't know where the All-Star game's at, but.
Doesn't Los Angeles?
Los Angeles. Oh, it's in LA. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's in LA. So it's going to be big time. It's going to have everyone there. They're definitely going to have a slam dunk contest. My boy Dennis Smith Jr. Dennis Smith Jr. all day. Repeat. Dennis Smith Jr. got bunnies. Can't wait. They need more. Paul George deserves to get in there. Look at the starters again. Paul George, he's not even in the goddamn reserves. That's the craziest shit.
Like I'm saying, you telling me Damian Lillard's better than Paul George? You telling me John Wall is playing better than Paul George? No.
I do think Damian Lillard's better than Paul George.
I don't.
I think Paul George better than
Paul
Al
George
Horford.
defends.
I think he's better than Al Horford.
Paul George plays both.
I think he's better than LaMarcus Aldridge. I think he's better than Bradley Beal. I think he's better than Kevin Love.
Yeah, I'll agree with you there. Like I said, he puts in effort on both sides versus some of these guys just don't. Some of these guys are all offensive. Like, I love the beard, but you don't see the beard making big blocks or good steals or anything like that.
It's all right. It's all right, PG. It's all right.
Hey, you still got a little bit of love in Naptown.
Yeah,
we still watching you.
Still fucking all these hoes in Naptown. I guarantee you, your phone book's still crazy. Girls texting you right now. It's okay. It's okay. You didn't get the All-Star. It's all right, PG.
All right,
I'm hyped. I'm hyped.
What are you hyped for, Gooch?
Stand up, all my brothers and sisters. Black Panther, Black History Month, and Black Panther coming up. This is for us. Out of all the shit that's going on. Sorry, Zach. I gotta even call him by his real name.
I'm excited, right? You can't even use the cap for it. I'm excited for it, man. I honestly am excited for it. I think because I'm a huge. As y'all will learn, we're both dorks. We love anything Marvel makes. We'll watch
Marvel heads, baby.
I'll watch everything DC makes, but I'm not necessarily
so good. We bought DC, bitch. Talking all that shit.
It only cost me like $12. It wasn't that big.
Yeah. They're all the DC movies are still like the blockbusters that was going on. All the blockbusters at the random ass fucking on 30th Street or something.
So all these kids on YouTube gonna be watching. They're like, what's Blockbuster?
Yeah, Blockbuster. It's Blockbuster, ladies and gentlemen. Used to be the most popping shit in the world. Like, literally, everybody was there on the weekends, bro. Because all the games would come out.
This shot right here goes to Blockbuster.
All the movies, dog. I used to go to Blockbuster all the time. And my dad, he's known for this shit, ladies and gentlemen. And I know you guys know this. If you go to like the horror movie section, and I know me being all on the topics and shit. I know all the movies and stuff like that. I got a good idea of them, but my dad he sucks at it. He'll go find the most scariest looking cover, but it'll be the $5 bootleg movies, dude. And my mom would always get mad, and I would tell him all the time, this is a $5 bootleg movie. Like, no, he'll buy 3 of them, and I'll buy one of the actual ones. So, like, The Exorcist versus, like, the Pumpkinhead movie. You know what I mean? Like, those stupid-ass shit. And he would buy those all the time.
Somebody shot in a garage.
And then you would hurry up and get there about 7 o'clock. You would hurry up and get there because the games would come out, and you got to hurry up and rent them games because everybody will snag them up. All the latest games, everyone will snag them up. I remember
I got Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty from the Blockbuster, and I've rented it so many times. After like 3 months, I'd go back. I keep, because I didn't have any money, so I was like, I'd be like, hey, please, mister, can I just hold on to this? You guys have another copy on the shelves anyways. And they'd always be like, yeah, you're totally cool. After about 3 months, they actually ended up giving me the game. They were just like, you know what? It's yours, man. We ain't going to charge you for it or nothing. Just keep
bugging the shit out of it.
It was the best thing ever. As a kid, I was like, yeah, I got my favorite Metal Gear Solid game.
Yeah.
For free.
But Black Panther, we're going to know it's a Soul Stone, right?
They do think the last Soul Stone is... it's not the reality one. It might be the reality one.
I think it's a Soul Stone. I think it's probably, you know how Marvel is. It's probably going to be on the last credit.
And they think that the last one's going to show up.
Have you seen the trailer already?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the trailer's fucking crazy, dude.
It's the orange one? The orange Soul Stone that we need left?
You go on Screen Rant?
For, it's probably on a Thursday or Friday, right?
Yeah. You go on Screen Rant, the website?
Sometimes.
I do too. Yeah.
They're informative, man.
I love that shit, bro. I always go on my phone. Like, you can't get the pictures. Like, whenever I try to save it, because I'm one of those people that I save articles all fucking day. I just screenshot or I save articles all day because, you know, either memory, smoking or drinking, whatever. I always got to make sure, like, oh shit, I remember this, and I'll hurry up and save it or screenshot it. But do you think people are gonna support Black Panther because it's an all-black film?
You know, because it's I can see it creating some controversy, and I actually think that's a good thing. I hope that it's so far to that side of things that it does create a little controversy, because I think that'd be cool. Because
there's projecting it's $1 billion film.
We've had so much, you know, of that kind of.
I think it's
controversy within the last year, but it never seems to get like resolved in much ways. You know what I mean? I think this will be one that, as a film, especially because films can turn the tide of, you know, society and culture and whatnot and how we view things.
If you get on Twitter right now and be like, if you personally go on Twitter and be like, I think Black Panther is so socially forward or something like that, somebody will be like, shut up, cracker. You know what I mean? Someone say some racist ass shit.
Someone's gonna tell me.
You know what I mean? Someone say some racist ass shit probably back to
you. But I wanted to. I wanted to, man. I want people to
I think it's Ryan Coogler.
I want people to get a little spicy on
the director Ryan Coogler who directed Creed. And I can't wait till Creed 2 comes out, because Creed 2, and I almost cried on Creed. And Creed 2 comes out, I think soon. I think they're developing. Man, I'll tell you what. Rumored it's going to be who's the Russian? It's the Russian son. So the Creed versus the Russian son.
Fucking Dragos?
Yes,
they're gonna have like Michelob Drago or some shit.
Yeah, I was about to say something from Game of Thrones.
That would be dope.
But yeah.
So he fights the guy's son that killed his dad. Oh, that would be a good setup.
But the actor Chadwick Boseman, who plays like every historical black person in the last fucking 4 years, he's been Marshall. He's been.
He took over Morgan Freeman's
Jesse
job.
Owens. He's been
Morgan Freeman
Jackie
quit making
Robinson.
movies. So
yeah, he's young, fucking Morgan Freeman. Yeah, he's
right. Him and Denzel quit. They haven't done much, so like
Denzel's doing the Equalizer too, man. Denzel doing.
Yeah, but he makes like a movie every few years or something. Like not like when they're used to being everything all the time, which I'm cool with because they were awesome. Like fucking, I'll let Morgan Freeman narrate my entire life. It would be the greatest thing ever.
But all Marvel heads, you gotta. I think it's a 2-part. Like after Black Panther, hopefully it hits the $1 billion projected. I think it will. I'm gonna see it. I'm personally gonna support and see it.
Oh, I was gonna say you're going with Armand and everyone.
I'm going to everybody because we
shout
all
out
at work.
Armand.
Yeah, shout out to Armand. Shout out to Jeremiah.
Shout out to having his two girls, man. Did you see him?
Yeah, shout out to Jeremiah. He had his 2 girls.
Beautiful looking little girls.
I forgot his baby's names.
Having twins.
Wait a minute, you can take one. I'm shutting down the shop because I get too fucked up, and it's early, so I'm gonna turn down the first one. He can drink more than me. Are you Irish? German. Oh, even worse. Yeah, that motherfucker definitely can drink, and he could probably.
See, Irish can drink, but they get like angry and shit. Germans, we're like stoic. We just keep drinking, and like you would never know.
They keep drinking, and they mumble the rest of the time. So.
Yeah.
But I think It's a two-part. It's a two-part. What do you predict? Do you think Thanos?
Look, actually, here's the thing. Here's a prediction I have for Infinity Wars. The first one is, and I'm not sure who, but I promise you, and a lot of people think it's going to be Vision, of course, because Vision has to lose the stones.
You see this, yeah?
For the stones to be united, but I think that's going to happen in the second one. A big named character is going to die.
And who do you think?
In the first Infinity Wars.
Bah, 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 bah.
And my predictions, Tony Stark, Iron Man. I think he gets killed.
You think Iron Man?
I think Iron Man dies
before
Infinity
Captain.
Wars 1.
You don't think Captain America? Because I always read and they always link it to like different comics. There's different.
I mean, that's a bold prediction.
Comics.
Don't get me wrong. He's like
so no Spider-Man because Spider-Man Homecoming 2 probably got to come out.
Yeah, he'll be good.
You think, and you don't think Captain America's gonna die? The lead for them to Buck, turn to.
I'll say Buck was supposed to turn over to be the new Captain America, but I don't know, man. I just watching it and watching because Marvel always tries to they don't sneak things in their trailers necessarily. They do misdirection. They try to they sneak things in that you.
But you know why? Because
that you don't necessarily think.
Because it's when you do comic book movies, they're always gonna it's easy to predict because you're just reading on the comic.
But Marvel changes, and Marvel makes a big point to that their MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, doesn't follow the timeline of the comics. Yeah. The stories and the characters are all based off that, but they can, and with Guardians 2, that was a big flaw a lot of people have in Guardians 2 because that was totally off script, which I thought they did a good job because they had to play the whole Peter Quill learning about his father.
I think that's the best.
Yondu's actually really his father.
I think that's the best Marvel movie.
The whole time.
I think it's the best Marvel movie.
But a lot of people didn't, and a lot of the big comic books were like, "Oh, well, his real dad's Jason or whatever."
The opening scene was just amazing.
Yeah, with the little.
You know what I mean. The opening scene was amazing.
Rainbow. I call it the Rainbow Monster. I know there's a name for it because that's supposed
to
be
Baby Groot.
Well, no, the monster they were killing in the first one. With the rainbow.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, but that's one of the.
Baby Groot was awesome.
That's one of the best.
I don't know why people had beef with that movie. It was so good.
I was so pissed off I didn't get to buy any liquor that day, too, at the movie theater. Because at the IMAX, you can buy liquor. You know what I mean? And Zach, I think the motherfucker double-fisted, bought 2 Jack and Cokes. You know what I mean? Like that. And then, I don't think I ate anything, no popcorn, but it was deep. I didn't have no cash. But next time, I'm balling. I'm getting me a Jack and Coke.
We going hard for Black Panther.
I'm going hard for Black Panther.
Smoke
and I'm wearing all black.
We're going to walk in there. Bro,
I'm randomly standing up, throwing my fist like fucking the old. I'm sorry, I don't know their names. The old track runners, standing up.
Jackie Robinson.
That wasn't no Jackie Robinson, motherfucker. It wasn't Jesse Owens.
Is that it? Man, I don't remember.
It was Jesse Owens.
My man. See.
I don't think it was Jesse Owens though.
Yeah.
That stood up with the black fist. It was Jesse Owens and 2 other people.
Yeah, the famous picture of them.
The famous picture, yeah.
I know what you're talking about. Hang on.
It's close to Black History Month. You better get your shit right.
There it is, right there. That's the picture.
Yeah. This dude. There it is. That's not Jesse Owens.
John Carlos.
Tommy Smith and John Carlos. Shout out to Tommy Smith and John Carlos. And Jesse Owens, but still.
That was I don't want to make the comparison. I don't want to make the comparison to modern day Colin.
And it's a reason why the movie comes out in February. Black History Month, man. It's very, very important. And race nowadays, especially with Trump as our president, love him or hate him. I mean, it's your opinion. I mean, I actually admire the confidence from a man that just literally just tricked America just to becoming president. You know what I mean? That's Hitler shit. That's Hitler shit.
What, Trump?
Yeah.
We don't even have a government right now, bro.
But
they're not working. They quit. They don't want to do anything.
But it's mastering. But it's also them mastering the gift of gab. My dad always told me.
Kinda, yeah. He's a con
about
man.
the gift of gab.
He's a fucking con man.
Like it's easy to not manipulate people, but it's easy to resonate with people.
Oh, he definitely found his
dive
niche.
into people's heads.
He found and that's why so many people afterwards were like, damn, why did I
vote for this motherfucker?
Yeah, I thought I was, or not even that they feel wronged, but just that they they feel like they were disillusioned. They were like this was not what I thought. You know, I went to his fucking supports and rallies and stuff, and we're all about, you know, blue collar jobs and shit, and then now, like, we're what, a year into his presidency, and what really has he done for the people of his base? Like,
but do you feel?
It's just all dumb.
Do you feel like how everyone says that everyone has like a little racist in them? Do you have a little racist in you, or do you feel? I always feel like it's not racism. I feel like it's more intimidation.
I think everyone does have a little racism.
But why?
And I think, and I myself, even just to speak of myself, I do.
What's your racist?
But I think it's because in most people's
cases,
hashtag
what's your racist? What's your racist for you? Like what is the reason? Explain to me. I don't care. Just explain to me what's the particular reason why you would have this thought or feeling towards this.
I think with almost everyone, it's kind of a product of your environment, just because, like, it's not to say, like, racism has always existed.
But how does racism trans into this?
For me personally, it was because,
Let me see.
Here's the story. Here's the story I tell you. When I'd moved, and this is sad, and this is kind of the reason, one of the things that had a big impact as far as race and race relations went to me as a child, was I was born a Hoosier. I was raised a Cajun. That's how I tell it to everyone. So I was born up here in Naptown. I was born in Anderson Hospital, and about like real young, I was probably about 7, 8, 9 in that range. I moved to Louisiana. So my dad got a job in Louisiana. I lived in Louisiana for a long time. Now, see, we're all boaters. My family. We've always owned boats, and we love boating. And we used to boat on the Amite River in Louisiana, which is kind of crazy because like people like here, you enjoy us when we take our boat days and shit, but people here like are afraid to get in the water.
Yeah, boats.
Like, lakes scare me. It's like I boated on a river next to like bayous and swamps and shit. Like you would have snakes and alligators, like not necessarily in the river with you. But yeah, I learned how to ski real quick. I'm saying, like, it didn't take me but one time to get up when you got alligators snapping at your feet. But so I'd be swimming, I'd be going down this river, and we'd be boating, we'd be tubing, we'd be skiing. You know, like I said,
is this the Family Guy fucking episode?
Yeah, that's how it is. And I was a young kid. I'm like, just picture this. I'm like 9, 10 years old then, you know, and I'm just learning how to ski. And as we'd be going, at one point, my uncle pointed out these little porcelain figures people would have on their docks, because a lot of people, of course, would have their house out on the river, and they'd have these dock houses and stuff. And some of these people, like, you'd have nice houses. I mean, like, some of these old Cajun bastards had money. They had, like, nice-ass houses on the river. I'm
already envisioning it.
So they'd have these little porcelain figures on their docks of little black kids.
Damn.
Like, sitting on, like sitting on the dock, like, with their feet over. It'd be like, you know, like, kind of like how old ladies have, how old ladies have the gooses and the hens in the front yard, and they'd put, like, a seasonal, you know, has a Santa Claus hat for Christmas and shit like that. Mm-hmm. They'd have these on their docks, and they're little black kids with shackles. And at first, when I was a little kid, 9-year-old me didn't understand it. But so, why they had these, if not for just that they're all racist assholes anyways, was that a lot of times, you gotta understand, like, in Deep South down there, you're all about your neighbors and, like, your community and shit. And, so, like, they would have, like, Sundays and Saturday nights. These people would have, like, barbecue parties and shit in their backyards out by the river, you know. And you could just pull up, and they, like, or boil. Everyone did a crawfish boil. Sunday nights they'd watch football.
Boys.
Deep South, watching some
Gumbo,
football.
Baby.
Got a crawfish boil going. And you could just pull up to these docks and, like, just go up to these people and, you know, be like, hey, like, this is my wife and 2 kids. You mind if I, you know, have some food and drink a beer and watch some football with you? And that's just good. How it was. And I guess they would have little black kid porcelain figures on their porch, pretty much to say, like, you know, don't, like, no, like, all the white people can come up and enjoy this barbecue, but
not no black people.
Yeah,
this
is
black
literally their way of saying
y'all saved us up anyway, because ain't no seasoning, ain't no good sauce on the fucking barbecue anyway.
I hope that there's not as many of those around, because I saw it, again, as a 9-year-old me, 9-year-old Zach didn't understand then, but as a grown adult, I hope that I don't, because I saw it. I remember it as a kid. Like, there was a lot of them. It wasn't like every single dog had some little
me.
But it was often enough that it made an impact to me. And that was one of the first things of like when I saw like going from the Midwest and never experiencing racism and never having like that like perception, and then I moved, and that was the first time I ever like man, there are people out here that are racist for
my first like ever hearing it
to an extreme level. And
was probably from my brother
as
Ray.
A little kid, I just it was kind of a culture shock. It really was.
Yeah. My brother Ray, he was I think it was like probably preteen, probably like 12, whatever like that, and he was just over this girl's house jumping on the trampoline, and her dad called her in, and he was like, "Get that motherfucking monkey off my goddamn trampoline." And my brother didn't know what the fuck, because we came from an area where it was just all particular black. It was about 12.
Okay, so you were really young too then. You've been like 9 or 10.
No, it's like Ray's like 4 or 5 years older than me, and came back, and he was so mad. And the girl, he had to leave, and this is like him, the girl, and a couple other friends, and him and our best friend David, particularly, then our brother David, he left with Ray, because they lived across the street from me. But just to have that impact at that young, put an effect on them.
Now,
and
see,
it
then
put
why
effect
do we?
On me too.
Even though I'm not blaming, again, like you were saying the last time, no malice to those people that choose to act on the racist environment that some people were brought up in, and just that culture. But why do people like that choose to act like that? What brings that out of people?
I've always thought it's
kind of like that cop that
it's intimidation.
He's a great cop, but just once he ends up beating on some black kid, this innocent black kid for no fucking reason. And, and everyone will say, and all his friends will be like, "Oh, he's a great dude, he's not." Like, what makes that happen? Like, why is that?
I just think...
Like, what brings that out in our society?
I think it
and how
it
can
does,
we stop
and
that?
people don't want to admit it, but it does come into a little bit of fear, a little bit of intimidation. And I don't know. There was a guy that told me that he got jumped by, like, 6 black dudes when he was young, so that's why he has hatred towards all black people. But having that all for years to that one particular moment,
how do you apply
that's
that?
Not like you don't have a PTSD of this black people. I just think
it's not black people in general. So those 6 people that jumped you should hate them for the rest of your life, for sure.
I just don't.
But you don't know them. You shouldn't hold on to that. Is it people's inability to forgive?
Yeah, it's people ignorance. It's people just choose.
Like in a society where nowadays we're seeing, and this isn't like a religion thing, but we're seeing like the decline of modernized.
If you had a daughter and she was 18
religions,
and she had a boyfriend that was not just black but someone other than white, would you feel any type of way?
I wouldn't. I don't have a daughter, so I can't. I can't say it with credibility, but I wouldn't.
I just think race in 2018 it's pointless because it's so.
But it's still holding on. Like racism itself, it's like it needs to go away, but it just keeps manifesting itself in our society in weird little ways all the time, and it becomes like it's almost like it's stigmatized, And I wish I could see.
It's a cop
out. Obviously, we know like the roots of most, like like. I don't know. I just don't know. If we can't recognize what's causing it, then we can't ever solve it. You know what I mean?
I just think it's a cop-out. It's an easy way to say, I'm not doing good because so-and-so. Let's just think about how Mexicans are. How people so easily get at immigrants.
Mexicans taking my jobs.
Immigrants taking my job.
Man,
Nigga, you just don't want to work at McDonald's, man. You just don't want to do the shitball jobs that they're doing. And they're putting in hours of the shitball jobs, and you're just mad because you're not doing what they do. That's what I'm saying. It's just something. It's an equal opportunity out here, man.
So you saying it's just kind of people putting off their problems on other people?
Yeah.
And race is just one of the easiest outlets. One of the easiest outlets for them to do that.
It's so easy to say why I'm not doing this, other than why am I, instead than what should I be doing to do this and that. Like, people don't want to put, because think about it, like,
it's an interesting thought.
I don't know why, but people always have that lazy mindset, because if that was the case, then everyone would be successful. Everyone would accomplish their dreams. it's so hard. It's easy to say, but it's hard to do. Like, there's so much stuff we want to do, so much stuff I want to do, and I personally, it's hard for me. My dad always tells me this, because he's an old school dude. He's one of the dudes, you know, all our parents are people that had jobs for 20 years. Like, our generation, people don't have no jobs for 20 years like that.
I'm going on 10 right now.
You're going to 10, but you're probably one of those people, but my dad was like, you're in a generation, you and your generation, you settle. You're settlers. Y'all don't dream. Y'all don't work hard for it. Y'all dream all big, but y'all don't put no work into it. It's like a book that says you gotta put your 10,000 hours in. You have to put your 10,000 hours just to get to where you want to be. I mean,
I feel
if you want to be, if you already have the talent, because everyone has a talent. Everyone has a talent at something. You just gotta actually put the work into your talent. You gotta believe in stuff, and confidence is a huge thing. And that's something I personally actually lacked. Yeah. Like, growing up, actually, it probably didn't hit me till like middle school, like probably a typical teenage kid, but I never really fully
there's actually two sides of this sword here, because you have to have confidence in two ways to make it really work. You got to have both confidence in yourself, and that was something that it took me a long time as a person to, you know, really be a confident individual and be like a wholesome person, because I dislike so many aspects of myself. Because, like, you know, just how I am, man. I don't have to explain it. I ramble. I'm loud. I'm abrasive. You know, and like I used to like not like that, but it took me a long time to recognize like, hey, you know, I'm gonna be the way I am, and I shouldn't be trying to change this. You know, because I catch a little criticism or I catch a little cold tough, shoulder here or there.
It's tough when you.
And then you also got to have confidence in what you do. And whatever your dream may be, you got to pour your confidence. You got to first find confidence in yourself, and then you got to pour that confidence into whatever you're doing.
I think it's confidence in a little bit. I think it's funny, but it's weird that even when you don't believe in yourself, but you still have a little bit of hope. You still think like, oh, I can get better.
Those are the stories I like the most. Is the people that don't have the confidence, but have so much hope and faith into what they're doing.
I like seeing people like shine from the bottom up, because I was hit, man.
It doesn't happen as much anymore, man.
I didn't love myself, man. I didn't love myself at a time. I actually went to, I was drinking a lot. And that kills depression. I got actually diagnosed with major depressive disorder, if anyone actually deals with that or something. But I was not loving myself in my skin and myself. I was always doubting myself, and I was comparing myself to so much of other people's successes or them. And I would, even manifested in my head, I wouldn't think of myself. I think of something else, of someone else. And I just hit a breaking point where I was on the brink, not fully, kind of, but suicidal, but to the point where I didn't have no meaning left for myself.
You weren't happy in your own skin.
I lost my joy. I used to have so much joy, but I lost my joy, and my mother seen in my eyes, and she put me, made me sign these papers, and you go to this place called Community North, and at the hospital, it's a funny thing, I finally sobered up because I was fucking drunk. I went to go get a drink for the first time, and this is by like 11 o'clock, 11:30, and I remember I went to go get a drink, and I just blacked out, and I guess I hit the ground. I woke up, I was spazzing, crying. My parents showed up so quick, and then my dad was telling me I'm going to take it to the hospital, and I guess I went to go grab my jacket, and just fell back again, and then my manager yelled, go get him, catch him, and my dad just caught me and sent me to the hospital, and I'm yelling, I'm spitting everything out of my feelings right then and there, but it's in front of my mom. I'm a mama's boy. My mom was just hit, bro, and I remember I had to talk to a therapist on Skype. Like, these motherfuckers put me on Skype, and granted, they didn't get impersonal. I had a huge fucking headache for like a whole hour. I was there for probably like 3 hours, dude. 3 hours, legit. And you know how the hospital goes. It's cold as shit. And I remember I had a huge headache, and finally the nurse gave me one fucking ibuprofen. And it was the worst shit. I was throwing up like probably 5 times, and talked to the therapist. I was talking to the therapist at that, and they try to, they gave me the papers to sign, because if I didn't sign, I went there for 3 days, and if I didn't sign, I would have probably been there for a lot longer, because that's court order. And it was Martin Luther King Day on Monday, so I would have missed the whole day. But
was there
during
any
that
sense
time,
of semblance of that to you when that was happening? Just you were going through your own personal struggle while we memorized the day of a man that went through his struggle was represented by so many people.
Yeah.
Was there any sort of like...
it's Virgos.
A little bit of like... Yeah, maybe like Virgos, a little bit of ironic...
We're very sensitive. We're very in our head. We think a lot. We think so much. If I'm not, until I'm sleeping, then I'm thinking the whole time when I wake up. And it was so much shit manifested in me, and I just didn't love who I am in my, my life, my career, my relationship, and everything was just manifesting. I didn't have any hope left. I didn't think anything was for me, even at 25. And I was getting ready to go to the facility, and I finally sobered up. I got to watch the Vikings-Saints game. Shout out to Stephon Diggs. With that game went into touchdown, it was funny because me and my dad started cheering. My dad was so cool.
Man, you would bring that up. I'm from New Orleans. You would bring that up.
Yeah, he's from New Orleans, so I had to put it on him. But my dad, he was so cool during the whole thing. He was just so calm. Like, throughout the whole scenario, me even saying the craziest shit, he was just so calm and cool. Like, supporting my mom, supporting me. He wasn't spazzing, wasn't crying. He was just so cool.
Dude's a rock.
Yes.
For his family. When it needs to.
Yeah, his boy and his wife.
The most important thing about being a father, man, is to be able to be stoic when your fucking family needs you.
Yes.
Be hard, fast.
Yes. Yeah. In that situation, or a scary situation, and I'm yelling like, "Oh, did you see that, Mom?" And she's like, "Not right now, Terrell." She was just crying the whole time, and I was just hit. I was so sad that I made her cry, and but it's something I needed, and I ended up going there. And the first night, I had to talk to some nurse, and we're talking and everything like that, and I'm telling her my life and everything, and they put you in like the first ward, like the first floor, I guess, is for like drug recovery and stuff like that. And I wasn't in there for drug recovery, but that's just where I had to sleep at that time. Yeah, addicts, damn it. Addicts, damn it.
Yeah, pretty much.
There's this guy, this tall, like 6'4" black dude, I'll never forget. And he was sitting there the whole time where I'm talking to the nurse in one room. I'm looking over, and he's just sitting there looking at me from afar. And she was like, "Oh, that's Tevin. Don't really worry about him. He wanders around a lot." And I was like, "I don't know what the fuck." You know what I mean? I'm kind of freaking out. So I go get she's like, "You're going to have a roommate." His name, I won't say his name just for anything, but some Indian guy, you know what I mean? But she said he sleeps a lot. So when I got there, he was already asleep. And then we have like one of them hospital room beds where it's like no TV in there. In the bedroom, there's no TV. There's a TV in like the lounge area, but it's, just a window, like a little desk. And I had like shampoo. They gave me like shampoo, a gown, and all the like jail essentials basically. And I just went in there and just fell asleep at first. Didn't meet him till the morning because you have to do vitals, where basically you're just checking your blood pressure and everything like that. But during that night, I'm sleeping and I'll roll over a little bit. I look over, Tevin's looking through the door.
At you?
Yes, at me. Because my bed is right there, and
That's
then
a bit crazy.
My roommate's bed's on the other side. And I just play it off, close my eyes back, you know what I mean, like that, and then I blink a little bit, and then I just see a nurse just carry him over. And then the morning when I'm doing vitals, he's walking around, he's walking around, and this is like breakfast time because it's like 7:30. They put you on a schedule. Night time's like at 10. So they put you on a whole schedule, 24 hours, but I get there, eat, do my vitals, and you can't watch nothing crazy. I try to watch that 70s show, and they're like, "No, Terrell, like, I'm sorry, but you can't watch that because some people might relapse anything, drugs or sex." Yeah, so all we watched was like Adam Sandler movies. All Adam Sandler movies.
Because he doesn't do drugs?
Yeah, because it was Waterboy, it was an Adam Sandler production, Benchwarmers, and then it was, who watched? It's Waterboy, and then I think Big Daddy was the other one, dude.
Big Daddy is a good movie.
That's a good movie, though. That's one of the most solid shit.
I watched, when I went to jail for them 5 days a few months ago, while I was in jail, I watched Four Brothers, Fight Club. I thought we were about to have a riot, man. I was like, why are we watching this in jail? Like, this is the worst possible movie to show
when
to
I went to jail, we watched...
Man, when we were watching Fight Club, at the end of that movie, I really thought everyone was about
to everyone's
start...
gonna fucking start. Wow, that's the worst
I
fucking
thought I was about
movie
to get tear gassed.
Everyone thought
so
Brad Pitt. Jesus Christ. We got to watch Batman and then the Lakers game when we got arrested. That was dope. And Lord of the Rings. Well, half of Lord of the Rings. Motherfuckers fell asleep, of course. But we got to watch Lord of the Rings, too. But
anyway, so what... As you started your routine, while you're in there... Actually, let's go to this. I'm assuming this Tevin guy. I want to know more about him.
They're all heroin addicts, man. And they're
you're in the addict wing, man.
Yeah, they're all.
These are people that are like withdrawing from whatever.
Yeah, when I talked to one dude, I was sitting there eating the shitball food that they gave you. It was the worst food in the world. And then Tevin was actually going home. It was like 3 people that was going home that day, and I was shitty. But one dude was a heroin addict. He overdosed at CVS. He worked at CVS and he overdosed at CVS. He couldn't help it. He would do so much shit. And then I was like, dude, I gotta get the fuck out of here. There were so many people that had to take like crazy pills. I didn't have to take any pills at that time. They had to take so much medication and shit.
Make you like had a psychiatrist start pumping you full of pills.
No, fuck no, dude. I finally got to the 3rd level, and 3rd level is anxiety, depression, and suicide or whatever shit like that. I get there and I
probably a lot of bipolar.
Yeah, bipolar people, and I'm scanning people out and just whatever. I just grab a whole bunch of magazines, because as a kid I would just read every time I go to the library or whatever. My mom would just snag magazines all day, read magazines all day. So I just snagged a whole bunch of People magazines, and then there was one ESPN. So I was like, hell yeah! I snagged those the rest, the whole first night. The next day, some older Indian lady named Veena comes into Terrell, wake up. It's 7 o'clock. We're doing vitals. At 7:30, we have breakfast. So I wake up. I take a shower. In the shower, it's the fucking worst shower. It's sprinkling. It sprinkles, but it hits the wall. So you didn't really have to like Spider-Man crawl on the wall, hit the shower. It was the worst shit in the world. They had the Johnson baby ass. So I would have to use that. I take a shower, and I only had my work clothes and sweats. So I was swapping between jeans and sweats the whole time. But I get there. The breakfast actually wasn't that bad. I had eggs and shit like that. But first group, you had to do groups, because in there, if you don't do groups and you don't participate in groups in this particular section, it gets to the doctor, and the doctor won't discharge you because you're not acting like you want to be there. Yeah. So there's some people that will just sleep all day, or some people that didn't really do it. So the first group, I was sitting there. I don't know if I was nervous, but the first morning, it was the first morning I was sober, like crazy sober. You know what I mean? I didn't smoke, I didn't drink, I didn't smoke a cigarette. Because I was wilding out before I got there. So I couldn't sit really still at that point. I was just switching legs, fidgeting. Yeah, so. But when they came across, we had to say our name because we're new and why we're here. And then everyone would say their name, and then it came to me, and I told them my story and who I am. And I never forget, during that first group, I was so comfortable because everybody was on my level. Everyone was dealing with something I felt. Everyone felt a little bit bad about themselves. There's people that were shaking in there. There's people that were kind of comfortable in there. There's one dude that was talking the most, so he got everyone kind of comfortable. So I'm that particular dude, so I started doing that. I told my story, right? And then there's this another black girl that's right next to me was literally dealing with the same thing. She was getting self-hate from her parents, even her husband. Her husband ended up cheating on her with her aunt.
Damn.
So she was in there, crazy. And she had, cuts on her arm, stuff like that. But she was dealing with the same thing I was dealing with, and I was like, holy shit. So during recess, you would have recess time. So you'll have recess, and then you'll do another a nutrition group, and then you do lunch, then you do recess again, another group, dinner, another group, like a meditation at the end, and then you sleep.
To meditate?
Yeah, to do meditation. Cool. And then we'll do like guided imagery and shit like that towards the end of the night, just to calm us down. But I'm telling you, it was actually a good treatment, but it was something I needed, but it was freaking me out, and it made me vulnerable. When you're stripped down, but you lose ego. You lose your ego, but that's good, though. I'm glad I lost my ego. I'm glad I lost all negative thought, because that made all the negative thought made me feel new, made me feel get my wings. Almost me and this girl,
refreshed, if anything.
We sat across from each other, and we just vented. And I watched. It made me more confident, made me more comfortable, because I watched her get comfortable, talk to me, and start feeling better. I'm like, holy shit, I'm doing what the therapist is doing to someone else, but I'm just doing it off natural feeling.
Yeah, and just by that person being able to have an outlet towards
and then
that, whatever it is off her chest.
We would read like pamphlets about stress and whatever, and then people would hear me read, and even the therapist stopped and said, "You have an amazing voice. You have a very, very amazing voice when you read."
That's why I hate doing this with you, because really, I know, man, I have like this nasally, weird Southern slur thing I do, and you have like goddamn the voice of an angel.
You read so good, and you read, and everyone's like, "Oh, let Terrell read." Like, man, you're so good. You need to be on the radio, and that what I'm fucking doing right now, and that made me so fucking happy. And then everyone was, me and this other guy was just being ourselves and being open, and then opened everybody else up. I think more than a fucking counselors and therapists did.
So, honestly, sounds like, did it help you as much to be in a position where you were vulnerable and you were, like you said, you felt stripped down and whatnot, but did it help you honestly as much to be able to help those other people in that position too, and to be able, I mean, also be able to relate to their struggles, or that one girl specifically, but did it help you to be able to help them and help them realize their struggles? And while you're talking about it, did you realize some things about yourself or some things about your struggles?
Two things perfectly that you hit. The first is that I'm not alone. The second is that I actually have a purpose.
It's important for everyone. I think that's the thing a lot of people struggle with, is when they go through heavy depression, is that they lose what they feel like is a purpose, or they lose like a meaning of what they're doing, what they're about. And that's kind of hits back on what we were talking about earlier. When you have a dream and you have a passion, be confident in yourself, and then pour that into your dreams, because a lot of people lose that, and when you lose that, you lose a lot about yourself, and then, like I said, it can spiral into depression.
You gotta lose.
It's hard to get out of
toxic people and things in your life. To be honest with you, I was reverting back to how I used to be. I was hanging out with old friends, and I'm sorry if this offends, but I was hanging out with old friends doing the same thing. I was drinking too much. I wasn't happy, and I was like, I'm doing the same shit that I used to do, and I ran away. I ran away from the older people, and now I just have this mentality where I want to focus on something new, regardless of me. I was never keeping myself busy. That's the one thing you have to do if you're dealing with depression or something. You have to keep yourself busy. You got to keep yourself preoccupied. You got to have things to do. Go grocery shop. Go work on a project. Go do something. That's something we learn in class. Like, I connected with so many other people that had different scenarios that I could relate or I thought about, and it made me even do like a career path, like where I didn't really want to do it for kids, read books for kids and volunteer and do something like that for kids, because nowadays this is our generation. This is something we're building, we're growing, and you waste. And I remember my parents used to say, you got to do something now, because you're gonna waste so much of the time, and time does go by, and you got people that are successful, like my buddy Brandon. He's doing really good for himself. Got a family and everything. Nice job.
Shout out to Brandon.
Shout out to Brandon and Cruz. And
fact shit. Shout out to Brandon right here.
Shout out to Brandon. You got more people that's doing a lot.
Is he subscribed yet? I don't know, but he better. Brandon, you better subscribe to our shit. If you don't support our show, coming after you, motherfucker.
Yeah.
No boat trips.
No boat trips for you. No boat trips for you. But that's just something that we gotta think, and I wish all the people well, and I wish anybody that's dealing with a struggle or depression or something, that you really have to stop and think that it really is. You have to take it a day at a time. You gotta be thankful. Like, I don't know if you believe in God or, whoever you're praying to, but you just gotta believe that hope is bigger, I think, than anything in this world. Hope is the top of the tree, and then the branches are like confidence.
Yeah. What gave you, what ended up giving you, what brought you back to the hope at the end of that whole thing? What?
I was happy again.
What gave you that happiness? Was it just being able to find people related to your struggle and being able to help them with that brought you happiness? Because that seems like a part of it.
Yeah, that is a strong part of it.
Was there something else that made you, that cleansed you?
It got my hope back. It made me reappreciate every little thing. Instead of stressing about dumb shit and stressing about long shit, I was just in the moment at times.
Because we ramble and we get a little off topic, but the whole kind of conversation we wanted to have
podcast is going to be mentally illmatic.
Mentally illmatic, yes.
Shout out to Nas, mentally illmatic.
That's what it is.
And it's just,
but we did want to, because like I was saying to people, is that we want to have, we want to bullshit and we want to have dumbass conversations and we want to be wilding and have stupid, but we also want to get real with people sometimes, and we want to have conversations about things that, our struggles, and we'll even man, it's gonna be hard to open up about my shit, but I'll even express our pains and shit if it can help people relate and help other people get over their struggles and their pains. And that's kind of what we want to do here. On top of just having a dumbass little news show and us just bullshitting about things, we also want to bring out some real shit that, we want to bring out the feels, man. I'm going to leave us with this poem by, let's say, if it brings it up. Fuck it. It doesn't matter.
No, read it out. This is the perfect way to end it. We're gonna leave you guys. We're gonna leave you guys with a nice poem to send us out. Thank you for all the people that have listened, that have had a nice little thought process with us. I hope that you agree. I hope that you disagree. I hope that you just think and just have your own topics, your own discussion, your own way of letting yourself out and letting the things that you think about out. And I just appreciate all the people that were allowing us to vent to them. And I hope that we did spark something. And I hope that you do your own podcast, or just comment, or
write that comic book, or fucking make that art studio if that's what you want.
Yeah.
Whatever your dream may be, just do it.
And this is not what we're gonna do every podcast. Trust me, we're gonna be talking about something a lot lighter. But this is something that we, around this time, it's something that we wanted to get off and talk about. And I hope it wasn't too sensitive or too much for people. Actually, I do, because I hope that it did affect you.
If it does, then it sparked some sort of interest, and that's kind of what we're going for, right?
And it's something that we're striving, and I hope that we all progress in this podcast.
Yeah, so here's where we leave this on episode 1 with Invictus by William Ernest Henley. Out of the night that covers me, black as pit from pole to pole, I thank whatever gods may be for my unconquerable soul. In the fell clutch of circumstance, I have not winced or cried aloud. Under the bludgeonings of chance, my head is bloody, but unbowed. Beyond this place of wrath and tears looms the horror of the shade, and yet the menace of the years finds and shall find me unafraid. It matters not how straight the gate, how charged the punishments the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul.
Hail Mary, Tupac, R.I.P.
Yeah.